What's good, y'all? What you see in the background is NBA The Run, and I'm just doing a little video about the patch notes and other little twinks and nuggets of everything that they're doing. So let's get into it, what they just put in the game. So first thing you see is improved attributes for Trey Young and DJ, which is Destiny Jackson, which is one of the legends in the game. Which, personally, I like her a lot. I like her, and she's like very like a hidden gem, underrated to me. Contrary to what people might say or believe and everything, because I don't really see people like talk about her like that. But me personally, I do like her. So let's see. As you can see, this is her new attributes. Now, to me, it don't look that much of a difference, but at the same time, let's see if there's truly a difference. Now, as you can see, it all looks the same, but I will say, well, from what the developer said in the Discord, it does look quite different. Far as like, for example, like 4 bars might be like a attribute between 60 and 80, and 5 is like 80 to 100, or 80 to 90. I don't really know for sure and everything. So maybe it's like that. So maybe that's improved. So it's like, I guess we can't see it, but it is improvements in some way or fashion. Now, I wish they would do improvements on that, but I guess we'll get there. All right, here is Trey Young stats. Now, I don't really use Trey Young like that, but I think there is some differences. I'm not really sure what it is. I think maybe passing and speed, maybe, but I really don't even know. But let's see right now. Also, I'm kind of shocked. It's just the stamina, the difference, and that's it. I really thought it'd be like maybe the aura, or I don't even know what else. Honestly, I ain't even gonna lie. I don't know what else, but I thought it'd be maybe two things, which is one. There's one attribute. Now, as you can see with the second one, it says DJ's jump shot has been tweaked and made a tad bit quicker. Now, I'm going to go in the shoot around real fast and show you all how it looks and everything. All right, now I'm in the shoot around. Let's see how it goes and everything. Oh, that definitely feels fast. Oh, yes. Okay, that's definitely fast. Oh, I have a thing I can do. I can use it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, that definitely feels better. Definitely feels better. Oh, yeah. She still has the animation, but it's way quicker than what her original animation was, her OG was. Oh, my Lord. It is vastly different, because I'm not going to lie. When I used her, and everything, I had to just use all the moving shots, the side ones and the floater ones, everything like that, the runners, all that stuff like that. But now this is way different. I don't have to do that at all. Oh, this is vastly better. Good job, play by play, man. This is excellent. Oh, this is great. This is totally great. Yes, sir. I will say I wish her dribbling was better, but at the same time, I understand you can't make everybody OP, even though she is a legend, and I understand. But that's one thing I will say. I wish she knew how to dribble, but at the same time, I guess I let it be Shen Long, if I'm saying his name right. My bad. And spin cycle. So I just wish she knew how to dribble a little bit. Like I could do some advance a little bit, but I had to be strategic with it. Now there's other things that they fixed in here as well, like Zion's dunk going through the hoop correctly, and Steph, dunking the correct way and everything as well. Plus different animations, or polished animations, I should say, for Giannis, El Gigante, and Wemby. So I'm glad, for them, their blocking animations are looking better, because sometimes it did look weird, especially for Wemby, and sometimes Giannis. Elgante didn't really look that bad, I will say. But I get to improve it as well, since they have like a longer reach and everything. But definitely for Wemby, it definitely needed like a polishment. So I do appreciate that. So we all love little tinkers here and there. So you love it. But I will say what we care about is how does this attributes look for Cade, SGA, Bam, Brunson, and Wemby. Let's see how that is. Now, after looking at what the stat says for SGA, it really looks the same to me. And I guess maybe it's just the steals they brought down a little bit or something, because people was complaining about his steals. So maybe it went from a 90-95, because it's not king rated, but it's a 90-95. So maybe it's that. So it went from a 90-95, and now it's a, I don't know, a 87-88. They have to kind of get better with that than the bars, but I guess we'll get to that. I don't really know. So maybe they brought that down a little bit. Maybe something else brought up too, but how we know for certain, Now, as we transition to Cade Cunningham, I will say I think he has the most improvement out of all the people that got a bump to their attributes, because defensively, he basically everything is like +1 or +2, because like his steals, his blocks, and rebounds and guard is like everything +1, +2. So it's like I love that, because I mean, like for me, that gives me another guard to use, because only person I really use as a guard, I don't really play guard like that, but when I do, it's really just Maxi, because he has defense, or defense that I like. Let me say that. But now I have Cade Cunningham and him. Now I have two guards I can use. I'm confident that I can use. Now here's Bam. Now to me, Bam looks the same. Maybe there's some other tweaking going on in the back end or anything like that. I'm not really sure, but maybe there's something. I don't really know. But I will say, I wish, if anything, I wish they either one of two. I would love both of it, but I understand. I wish they would bump up his block one and his speed one, because he is kind of like a fast, for a big man. He is like a fast center. Even though he ain't gonna lie, he kind of plays like a small forward, power forward, but we ain't gonna talk about that though a little bit. But I think his block and his speed should go up a little bit. But I understand. They say it's bumped up. Maybe it is. We just have to. It's a feeling thing, which that's usually how it is. It's a feeling thing. Now, as we get to Wemby, yet again, I don't see that much noticeable improvements or decrease, anything of that sort. Now, of course, back end, yet again, might be some differences. Let's hope that's what it is, because, and then I don't know, like what I would change from him. I don't know. That's a real good question, because it's almost like I would bump up the threes because of what he did, in the finals or in the playoffs, really. But it's like, no, because that might make him, too OP if he had like a 5-bar three and everything. So it's like, I really don't know what I really would change with him. Maybe max aura, especially since he got that that little moment in the finals and the conference finals and everything. Maybe that, like, bump up the aura, but no current NBA player has like 2 crowns, so I don't really know. Mm-hmm. Now, lastly, we have, but certainly not least, Mr. Champion himself, the Nick Brunson, Jalen Brunson. But yet again, I will say I don't see that much of a difference between the two. But I guess if anything, I guess the aura changed. I guess that's what changed, because he definitely needs that. Now, I guess what I would say is maybe I would do speed and aura, but if I had to choose between the two, I would pick aura, especially since he won the championship and he led the Knicks to something historic that haven't been done in, 53 years and things like that. So definitely aura. And like I said, like previously, no current player has 2 crowns. So since he can get crown, king, aura, what you want to call it, give him max. So I guess give him max aura. I guess that works okay. So there you go. So that was pretty much the last thing for everything for the players and things specified for them. Now, as we transition to the gameplay patches, some of this needed to happen for sure. Some of it is just like basically quality of life changes, and other ones like it was desperately needed and everything. So this definitely needed to happen. Because, like, for example, the increased nearby defenders for the jump shot in traffic. Sometimes I don't know how I make a shot or someone else make a shot, and it's like, and it's like a fireball or whatever it may be, and it's like automatically go in and everything. So I'm hoping that's kind of what that mean by that. I'm going to assume. So let's see how it plays out. You know, when people playing it and everything. Now, definitely for the tune of the guard and protect abilities. Now you know people you seen it on all online on Twitter, uh, uh, Instagram, wherever it may be. They was showing that that was crazy doing that, and I even experienced it myself with teammates and against as well. So I'm glad they're gonna do something with that. And then there's other things like the OTH, which is off the heezy. If you didn't know what that meant, the OTH mean the acronym to that. It's off the heezy, and it's good to have like added to good shot outcomes as well, because sometimes with certain animations, you already know if it falls a certain way, it's like, oh, I know that's going in. Oh, I know it's gonna miss. Let me get the rebound, or let me get back on defense, whatever it may be. And then, like, for sure, also if for the people that play solos, which I do sometimes too, because sometimes I don't feel like playing with teammates because I don't have a squad like that or play all the time like that. So sometimes I play solo. So it's good to like have like designated buttons to like where I can who I want to pass to, or who I want to transition to on defense and everything, because I can do it for the offense, why can't I do it for the defense? So now that you do it for the defense, thank you, play by play. So that's good. One last caveat I will say is for the high skill goaltending part, like I think that might be good as well, because for the higher comp players and people that just know how to do things to the game and everything. Like if you had Wimby, well, really you had really anybody, but more so if you had Wimby, El Giante, maybe Anthony Davis and some other people here and there, like you could probably goaltend shots near the rim. So if that makes it harder, or the likelihood of that happening will lessen. I will definitely take that as well, because I mean I haven't really I've seen it. I've seen people do it and everything against me and everything, but luckily maybe that might be lessen the fact of, especially on the higher skill gap and everything. So cool. Now here, this will be somewhat quick, hopefully. What I will say is, with the hit reactions being less cartoony, like it does seem like when I was colliding with certain players, either for a dunk and sometimes even a shot and shoving, sometimes it did look somewhat unrealistic, or I'm gonna say unrealistic. It's just like you said, cartoony. It's just like it kind of should be polished a little bit more, or just look better and everything. So, and the shove, it should be kind of different and everything. So I say with this, what can I say? I mean, some of it, like visually, I don't really think I had a problem per se with a lot of things going on with the game. Some people did get confused with the ball, and where and how to shove and everything like that. But I don't think I really had a problem with that. But if people had a problem with it and they going based off of feedback, listen to them. I always got to listen to for the community. Now, with the rule set changes, I'm not really surprised by this, but at the same time, I am a little bit surprised, because I wasn't really sure about like how it was all set up. But now I know it's set up where it's like it's common, uncommon, rare, and whatever else, if it's a higher tier than that and everything, for the frequency of what you're going to play. So, with this, I'm kind of cool with that, because for me, I especially did like pickup and everything, because I kind of like that setup and everything, how to, that rules and everything. But I will say now, of course, I might be alone with this, but I don't know. Now with me, I don't really mess with old school, or I don't think it was called that. It might have been called. I can't remember what it was called right now. But whatever the ones, you go up to 7, and all baskets are scored by 1. For me personally, I somewhat dislike it and everything. Now, I don't want you to remove it. No, I don't want you to remove it, but I wish that was somewhat different or altered. I don't really know what per se that could be. Like I don't know, like go like instead of being 7, go to 10 or no, I don't want to say 15, but I'm a be ranting about it. I don't want to do that. We not here for that. We're gonna move on. We're gonna move on. Now with the bug fixes, I will say I haven't really experienced some of these like that need to be fixed. Now, of course, I'm not gonna say it doesn't happen, but I think it's more so PC. Now, I do have this on PC, but I don't really play it that much. I more so play it on my PlayStation and everything. So I'm going to assume like with the 16 by 9 and the 16 by 10 monitors, the ultra wide and everything. I'm going to assume that that was giving people complications and things with the map and everything like that. I like I said, I never really experienced. I did crash a few times. I will say, early on in like the first couple days or first week or whatever. Like, I did crash, but they fixed it. They've been kind of uh up to date and been like real generous with everything with that. So it's like they been on their P's and Q's and everything with that. So I don't really that's not really a complaint. So really, but if they fix these issues and people have been having these, hey, I'm glad they've been doing it. Let's move forward. Now, as we go to user face patches, now of course some of these I did experience, I will say, and other ones I haven't really experienced, but I think they wouldn't put that in there if it wasn't because, like, for example, the if you look at the I think that's the fifth one with the fixed issues where players were getting the PNP 004. Sometimes I did get that. Like I've gotten that maybe 3 or 4, I don't know, maybe even 5 times. I've gotten that before. So I'm glad they fixed that. So we won't have that complication with that anymore. So I do appreciate that. And then it was and then I think that's the eighth one. I could be wrong. I'm looking at it wrong, maybe. But I think the eighth one talking about the hide crew invite. Sometimes doing that it would just like it'll be weird. Like sometimes it disappears, sometimes it wouldn't disappear, and I can be able to join. But every once in a while it'll do something. It do something crazy and everything. So, but I'm glad they fix some of the user interface things because it's always something. Especially me working in IT and everything. It's always something. It's one thing after another. So good job, good job. Now as we transition to the stats update, and with the putbacks not being no longer counted as alley oops. Now I know sometimes with my teammates, sometimes we threw each other the ball off the backboard and that counted as oops, which it kind of does count as an oop technically, but I guess in contrast or to combine everything with the previous patch with the oop city and everything, it makes sense. So since that's going to change, that's this as well is going to change for the putback. So I understand. So with the putbacks and everything like that. So I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, I ain't tripping about it and everything. Cool, cool. And like and also talking about the credit to steals to intercept. Like sometimes like people were like I would throw a pass and then they would do like the guard just enough time, but they wouldn't get the ball and they get counted as a steal, which that's not a steal. That's a loose ball. Loose ball's not a steal. If you know basketball, which I mean that's kind of simple, but neither here or there. So that's kind of good that they did that, and then a few other things that they've done as well. So it's like okay, but they like I said they like I keep saying they listening to us and everything. And I guess it's one little caveat, little slice of life, anime, but we ain't gonna go there. A little slice of life, with the time play, with reflecting to who you play. Because like I said, like for me, like sometimes I go in between Kawhi Leonard and Elgante, and I know I play with Kawhi more, but it doesn't really display that sometimes. And I'm like, why is not displaying that? Because I know I played with Kawhi more. So now I know, but sometimes it'll be off by milliseconds or something. It may be. I'm like, but or seconds. I'm saying milliseconds, but what milliseconds. But now they changed that so it's more clear and concise. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. Now, as we go into the last little bit of these kind of patch notes, because there's some other things as well that needs to be discussed as well. Now, with this last thing dealing with the audio, and with this, I will say, of course, different as well, and thankfully, rightfully so, because I say, like, for example, like, I appreciate the bigger dunk part, and it will duck the music and other sound effects. And if you don't know what ducking is, it one thing overshadows the other. That's kind of like the basic way I can explain what ducking is. If you don't know what audio is, or dealing with dealing with music or any type of sound effects type of thing, that's kind of what ducking is, or voiceover work and everything. That's all really ducking is and everything. So it's like that's kind of good, where it's like, because you kind of want to feel the impact of the dunk because it's dunking. So it's like that's what you want. So that's good. And then, like, the style moves and dunk UI sound. So it's like, I guess, improvements or updates on that. So it's like that's good, as getting possibly more of an update of that and everything. So it's like that's good. Plus some other VO work from Babito and everything. Because I said, like, when the clock winding down, sometimes you don't know. Or it's like, because, like, if there's sometimes you're not going to pay attention to what's going on, and you don't hear it or feel it, you get the shot clock violation or something like that. Especially for the speed round, or I forgot the other game mode. That's kind of like where it kind of matters for, like, shot clock as well. But I know, like, the speed round especially matters and everything. So it's like that's good that there's at least another caveat of helping you out, because some people need that for visual aid. I'm good, but you never know, like, people with visual aid or something like that. So maybe that might help those people out. Visual audio aid, whatever. So whatever helps anyone out, cool and everything. So yeah, so and I think, and also, like, updated shot made UI sounds have built-in delays. So I guess with that too, I think because I guess like, does it make a sound when you shooting? I guess yes, it does. I guess, yet again, I see sometimes it's just a feeling thing. So it's like feeling thing and like an audio thing sometimes. So because sometimes also for shooting, you need an audio cue as well. Because I might not need that personally, but some people might need audio cues so they can get the timing right. Because who knows? Some people work differently from others. So I'm not mad at this at all. So all this for the updates, this is good. I appreciate that. Lovely. They also dropped this as well. June 25th, a game patch will be a bunch of fixes and gameplay tuning. July will be a gameplay update with new content, new players. Is it feeling drafty in here? August, time to kick off season, starting with Summer Heat. New players, new features, new content, and maybe even something legendary. Fall will be continuing to drop new content and seasons every 2 to 3 months. So that's something to look forward to. And 2027, the big one, a new campaign. We're giving out game time. Now, I will say, with July, I'm not really surprised if not mostly, but some are just the players. I would say that maybe the top 10, the lottery, whatever, of the players that just got drafted. And me, I was saying this to people that I'm cool with. I am not totally surprised. Now, people might be upset about that, but that makes perfect sense, because if you think about it, they just got drafted. That's like the new hotness and everything. So it's like that. It makes total sense, comparable to putting other players in. Even though, yeah, we want, like, Cat, we want OG. I mean, I want somebody I want, like, at least a play on every team. I mean, we don't care about the Kings, but it'd be nice to have a King in there, have a Utah Jazz in there, Atlanta Hawk, so we get all representation of people in the league and stuff like that. But I guess we'll get there in the fall or whatever it may be. Now, now I will say in August, it would be legendary. Of course, that sounds like Legends finally, which we know what's coming because they talked about it in a whole bunch of interviews, different type of things they were saying like in Discord and everything. So we knew it was coming. It's just who's coming. Like it'd be nice, of course, Kobe, Michael, MJ and everything like that, and Shaq and everything. But I'm not gonna lie. Now, put those in first. I will say that put those in first, but same time, I would like some obscure legends as well. Like you don't really see like that because, like, you want to be technical. We never seen Kareem in here in an arcade game. I never seen Kareem. I mean, like that, and then I'm trying to think who else. I mean, I personally want to see. I mean, it's a kind of like a personal thing of me, but I want to see Bernard King. I might be showing my age, but I'm thinking about players that I know that would be pretty much decent, and like it'd be kind of unique and everything too. Now, I can't now. Of course, I would like Barkley, but we know how that goes. I would love Barkley, but we have had Barkley since what was that 2K 15? I forgot which one it was. 2K 15, 16 with that dream team and everything reincarnated, but that's another here or there. So it's like I want who we need in the game. I do want that. It's just I hope they also put some obscure people, so you put people on to some of the legends because there's plenty people do not know about, and they don't even know them from like 2K because some people don't even play some of the 2K players and everything. I don't mean like my team, but sometimes just playing like Play Now and some other things. Some people don't know certain players, so it's just like that's what I said. Kareem is someone y'all know. Bernard King, y'all really don't know like that, and then there's other ones too. Because I'm not gonna go there. It's people. If you want me to say some other folks that I would like to see, I mean, I can make that into another video, but I'm not gonna make this too long. Okay, we have to move on. We have to move on. So yeah, man. So and of course with the leaderboards, I know some of y'all sweats definitely wanted that. See with with everything with the leaderboard to see how y'all match up with y'all peoples and everything, and plus also the good people. And I would like to know too a little bit. Now I want to know, like, of course, how many players is playing this game, and then show me the barometer of where I am and everything. 'Cause I guess that's a good thing as well. Because like, I don't think I'm like top of the top, cream of the crop. Because I know I could play better, know things better, whatever like that. But I think I'm fairly decent. I like because like in my top 500, who the hell knows? Maybe, but I guess it really depends on how many actual people are playing. Because PC, we have the numbers, but we don't have like the console numbers yet, or we don't have at least the PlayStation numbers yet. Not until that's coming up somewhat soon, so we can finally see the numbers for PlayStation. So at least we have like two different barometers to see how many players are playing and everything. So we'll get that soon and everything. So it's like that's cool. And then of course we're gonna get ranked/ladders. So that's thank you for having ranked because hopefully ranked I will have not just but because a lot of people are dealing with this where it's like sometimes you get I don't really want to say certain words, but we just say uh incompetent teammates. We'll just say that in lack of better words. Because there's other words I want to use, but we're not going to do that right now. Okay. So that's good to have ranked. So hopefully I can get more likelihood of getting better teammates in ranked. Then of course voice chat. Because there's like plenty of people I have in the game that's not on my on my PlayStation friend list, but they on my list in the run though. So it's like it's cool to have that. And then there's sometimes people that I'm cool with on PC that's not on PlayStation and vice versa. And we don't have voice chat, even though that's kind of what Discord is for. But you also have to realize, unfortunately, some people don't want to use Discord. Some people don't want to use other things for their phone. I don't understand why they don't want to use it, but at the same time, I get it. Or use WhatsApp. I don't really want to use that either, but we're not gonna go there. That's a different topic for another discussion and whatever. And then the last thing is we get a campaign mode. This is pretty cool. Now I will say with the campaign mode, I wonder with that, that's usually like how NBA Street was and other things, and that involves like legends. So you playing against certain players and teams, and then eventually face a legend. Now I will say I wonder if the campaign will bring the other legends that was not in the game but in the trailer, like was it Zambone and the woman is fading me right now, but her as well. And I almost wonder if you're going to add even more legends as well, because it'd be kind of cool to get a little bit more legends as well, instead of just the initial 5. I mean, I guess if you want to include Bambino Garcia, but the 5 plus the other 2 that we haven't seen yet, or we seen but they're not in the game yet. So I wonder if it's going to be those 2 added plus other ones in the campaign, because that'll be kind of cool if that's kind of how you announce / show who's going to, the other legends, the other street legends to be in the game. And that'd be kind of cool. You put them in the campaign, so at least know how they are and how they play and everything, at least. And you just don't unlock. Oh, well, who knows? I don't know. It's me speculating. That'd be kind of cool if they did it that way, but move on from that. So I think that's really it so far from Play by Play Studio. So yeah, that's it, guys. I haven't done this a long time. I guess I'm supposed to say like and subscribe, but that's not really my thing. But I'm just here to give you what they showed. So appreciate you looking at the video. If you been here that long, watch the whole thing. Type in banana nuts, and I'll catch y'all guys later. Be good.